Hello and welcome to the Average Joe Conspiracy Show. My name is Adam and this is another Coffee Time Conspiracies. If you're completely new to this, it's quite simple. I sit here with a coffee and I rummage through the internet like it's some sort of boot fair and I pull out anything that tickles my fancy. All unscripted and conspiracy theory related. If you like this, please like, share and subscribe. It really does help me reach out to a wider audience. So let's just dive into this and see what we come up with. Hillary campaign logo is a reference to 9/11. I can kind of see where they're coming from with this. 2 points though. Hillary Clinton is a Democrat, and isn't the whole conspiracy that it was an inside job blaming the Republican Party for this? As stated in a previous episode, there are different levels, especially to 9/11. But yeah, for Hillary to have this as her campaign logo seems a bit of a stretch of the imagination. But also, when you have to actually change the image itself to prove a point, you kind of haven't proved your point. So I am not agreeing with that one. Poisonous government snowball. This one we discussed on the Average Joe Conspiracy Show Facebook group. This originally came, I remember it in 2014, I believe there was a snowstorm in Texas, and many people were saying that it's proof that the government have the technology to create the weather using this poisonous fake snow. I've seen many clips where it's clear they're not holding snow, it's just cotton wool or whatever. However, there are many videos where it is snow. You can tell it's snow. And also, I believe this image here is from a clip which I have seen recently, definitely, of him holding up a fresh ball of snow, setting a lighter onto it, and you can see the black emerging in the centre of the snowball. This has been debunked. This has been proven to be the soot from the lighter fuel depositing itself onto the snowball, and it looks like the water isn't trickling down because it's actually soaked into the snowball like a sponge. The soot doesn't mean that the ice is burning. As I stated on the group the other day, bricks in a fireplace, fireproof bricks in a fireplace, are not black because they're burning. It's because the soot is being deposited onto it. If you still doubt this and you still think that snow burns and this is just a government conspiracy to poison the masses, next time it snows, get a ball of ice from outside, put it in a frying pan and simmer until it's completely fluid. This will raise its head again and again and again, but it's science. April is the government's blood sacrifice season. Some people noticed that, oddly enough, a huge amount of tragedies happened during the month of April, according to these people. April is actually the government's blood sacrifice season, and during this month the government performs sacrifices to the demon god Baal, and then later disguises these sacrifices as tragedies. Okay. April being the most... I would have thought it was January or February, but let's have a look. So according to the Mirror, the deadliest month is March. A calendar of death. Worst Christmas present ever. Released today shows more than 221,000 deaths occurred in March over the past 5 years. That's nice. So, but April's still, well, fourth deadliest. So maybe they're talking about catastrophes that happen, like plane crashes and stuff like that. But Boris Johnson is grab that orphan child. We need to sacrifice to the gods. I could see Priti Patel doing that though. Stonehenge was built by the aliens. By the aliens, not just by aliens, but by the aliens. I think it's very easy to look at the whole world and all the ancient artifacts and things that don't scream out an immediate answer as to how they are there or why they are there, to just go, aliens. You know what? It could have been aliens, but I'm sure there are other explanations that aren't just default aliens to explain it all. Phantom Time Conspiracies. So this basically says that there are 297 years of history that didn't exist. Events between 614 and 911 AD, I assume, have been faked. Like many things, it's not my area of expertise, but I do recall reading bits and pieces stating that in the Dark Ages, it doesn't really make sense that we kind of stopped progressing or even went backwards, not evolving as much as we should have. Is still a bit of a mystery, this stage in human existence. Looking at the other empires around the world during that time, there suddenly is this gap in our history that doesn't really make sense. We kind of just stopped for a while. Could have been down to disease, could have been down to a number of things, but I kind of accept that. But again, I don't necessarily believe that it was all faked. I don't know, but an interesting one. I might have to look into that a little bit more. The invasion of the lizard people. I didn't realise how many people actually believe this. There are many, many people that absolutely believe in this. And I'm willing to have a conversation about many things, but I can't get my head around this at all. Okay, here's a video that proves...
Placing a tracking microchip under a service member's skin is one of the main reasons they don't have them right now. So when you speak with the various special operations...
Reptilian shapeshifter Brian Todd, CNN reporter. Looks more like Donald Trump. He's not a bloody lizard, it's Trump in disguise working for CNN. That was apparently evidence, according to this, that lizard people exist. I'm sorry. The thing is, even if they are 100% right, and our governments and our royal family in the UK are all shape-shifting lizards, I could have the Queen come up to me, turn into a lizard right in front of my eyes and slap me in the gentleman plums, and I still wouldn't believe it. I don't think there's any evidence out there that could prove to me that this is real. But again, happy to have a conversation about this. Barack Obama could control the weather. After the tragic events of Hurricane Sandy, some newspapers started spreading the message that these events might have been engineered by none other than Barack Obama. Again, as an average Joe, this just seems mental that people truly believe that we have the ability to control the weather. I don't think this is true. I am going to need evidence to justify this. I remember something to do with the Queen a few years back where it was absolutely tipping it down. She would have clearly got onto the blower. Hello?
Obama, can you please turn the frickin' rain off?
Or it was Barack Obama just as a bit of a fingers up to the royal family. You never know. If you had that machine, if you had that technology, it'd be incredible. Solar eruption mistaken for refueling UFO spaceship. Whilst I was researching for the Hollow Moon podcast, if you haven't seen it, click up there. They have this section on the Ancient Aliens documentary saying that this has baffled science and this is a UFO taking fuel from the sun, and no one can explain what it is. And I remember thinking, actually, I will admit, I thought the footage was completely faked. I thought it was CGI, and I just thought to myself, I know that Ancient Aliens is basically considered to be pretty much fiction. That they do tickle the borders of what what is fact and what is just absolute nonsense. And I looked into this, and actually it was true. It is true footage what they're showing, but as I say, it's a solar eruption, and this can be explained just using science and not sci-fi. So, bizarre 800-year-old mobile phone object has been dug up by archaeologists. If that has actually been dug up from anywhere, I will eat my flip-flop. It looks like an old, what was it, a Nokia 3210 or 3310 or whatever it was. Sorry, I've got to read more into this. Theories surrounding a most unusual archaeological find have now gone viral on... When was this? 2015? Yeah, that was staged. That's going to be... Oh, there it is. There's absolutely no way that has been found. If that has seriously come out the ground and someone's found that and they can do tests on it to prove that it is as old as they claim, it came from the 13th century, that would absolutely change the way we see history. It wouldn't be me finding out from the Sun newspaper. So I don't tend to use Wikipedia for these sort of things, but I'm going to side with them on this one. So it's apparently a piece of artwork from 2012 from an artist called Carl Wingotner. I've butchered that name, I apologise. So basically he put it up on Facebook saying that it's a piece of artwork, and then the picture appeared on a Conspiracy Club website, headlined 800-year-old phone found in Austria. This is what kind of interests me. The people who are signed up to that conspiracy theory club would have clicked on that article, and I wonder how many of them would have actually spent an extra 5 minutes researching what this is all about. Maybe the information wasn't there at the time, but I wonder how many people just took it at face value that this individual has this picture, so it must be true. Why do people... I mean, this did take me about a minute and a half to find. And how many people, even to this day, would see that image, maybe on a YouTube video or whatever, and go, oh my god, it must be true. And kind of go down the rabbit hole without actually going, I'm going to just check on this. Incredible. I like it. I like the idea, you know, that... And it wouldn't surprise me in 800 years' time they actually found a Nokia 3210 in this kind of state, because they're pretty much indestructible. So let's finish off by talking about Flat Earth. So Flat Earthers answer the following question. Flat Earthers answer the following questions, or Flat Earthers answer the following questions. This is going to be a good site, isn't it? 1. How Flat Earth came into existence. 2. Who is the creator? And 3. If it was created flat, then why it was created flat. If you've got 3 questions to ask Flat Earthers, I would say that pretty much none of these would come into it. How can you debunk a Flat Earth theory by saying, well, you don't know who created it, so they can say exactly the same back to you? I have had many conversations with a fair few Flat Earthers now, and it all comes down to just a couple of questions which people can't answer. Like, show me a working model that has the seasons, has the accurate times, which has the equator, which has solar eclipses, lunar eclipses, that accurately portrays absolutely everything from Aurora Borealis to Aurora Australis, and it all works perfectly as well as it does using the globe to demonstrate this. And then you've got, in a Flat Earth, how could you possibly catch a flight from Australia to Peru in one hit? This is kind of the traditional Flat Earth map. So there are flights in existence from Australia to Peru. Now, using a flat Earth, this would be damn near impossible. You can get a flight today, and you can take off from Sydney and land in Peru, or land in Argentina. It pushes the limits of a commercial flight, but it can do it, only using a round Earth. If you used a flat Earth, you would either have to break the sound barrier going right round to it, or you'd have to fly over the North Pole, over Europe or America, and that would be pretty noticeable. And also, that distance would be impossible with today. If you can show me, just show me a working model that explains everything as perfectly and beautifully and as poetically as a globe does, then I'm listening. I'll take you seriously. But until then, I'm sorry, every single model that's been presented to me and that I look at is just laughable. And I don't mean to sort of belittle people that believe this sort of stuff, but it's silly. I'll eat my other flip-flop if someone can show me a working model. So I think a nice way to finish this off is with a quote I really think is a good bit of advice. Don't believe everything you read on the internet just because there's a picture with a quote next to it. And that was from Abraham Lincoln. I completely agree with what he said with regards to this. Question everything. I don't have the answers, and I am not right all the time. I'm just an average Joe with an average IQ that kind of just scratches a bit under the surface with controversial views, and sometimes I'm pleasantly surprised, and sometimes it just kind of justifies what my initial instinct was. So if you agree with anything that I say on this, happy days. Let us know. If you completely disagree, likewise, comment below, and I'm happy to have a discussion about everything. So, and as I said at the beginning of the video, please like, share and subscribe, and thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.